Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my server play series. We have been pretty busy once again between episodes. This is our little starting hovel, and as you can see, I've got us some grid access over here now, and I've kind of rearranged the kitchen a little bit. There's something else I needed to put up there. I've forgotten what it was. And we'll come back to that later. So let's head. We have an upstairs now to the hovel. Oh, that's interesting. So people have been busy doing things. I've been playing with these telepads. They're kind of cool. They're a little fun to play with. I don't know that I would want to use them all the time because, quite frankly, making the Stew of the Void was not the easiest thing in the world. But it was still kind of fun to play with. And those are these. Let me see if I can bring them up here. Yeah, there they are. These things here, the telepad blocks. They're placed together like this in a 3x3. It's just one block tall. And it needs one of these dialing devices if you want to actually teleport with it. But they also work a lot like the travel anchors do, in that as long as I can see one, I can shift to get if I'm standing directly on it. There we go. And I also have my ender here somewhere, I hope. There it is. It was in my inventory in my hotbar the whole time. And then holding shift with the ender in my hand, any of these that I have named will show up as well. So that was kind of a neat little thing that I played with. We've got a couple more of the, what is this, the resource miner, I believe. Yeah, Void Resource Miner, excuse me. Tier 2. And we also have, I believe this is a Tier 2 ore miner. So we've got a lot of resources going over there. And then we have a small army of these garden cloches now. These are mostly growing different types of resources from mystical agriculture. You know, like this one is nether quartz seed, for instance. And I've got a couple over here. This is what I've kind of been referring to as my not so mystical agriculture, because this is growing stuff that isn't mystical agriculture related. It was kind of hard to find a cottonseed. I think I got one cottonseed to begin with, and I'm hoping that I'll be able to turn that into some hemp. I think the only way to get hemp seeds that I've seen so far is, let's see, those are cotton seeds. I'm supposed to be able to crossbreed these somehow. And it's supposed to give me a hemp seed, so we'll kind of see. Thinking, unfortunately, in the meantime, I'm probably going to have to use some kind of a melon seed. Let's see. Because over here, I've already built a refinery, and that's kind of what I want to work on today. Is there's another device called a squeezer that I'm going to want to build. See, I think that was in my immersive engineering building, or immersive manual here. Yeah, the squeezer. This is going to press juice or oil out of organic materials by use of a big piston. But basically what I want is the plant oil. Let's see if I can find that refinery again. Let's see here. Because what I'm trying to make is this biodiesel. And to make the biodiesel, I need the refinery, which takes the plant oil and turns it into ethanol, which turns it into biodiesel. And the whole reason I'm wanting to do that is I need to experiment with the diesel generator. which is going to be this guy. And what caught my attention about it, and this is from Immersive Engineering again, it looks like it's going to put out at least almost 4100 RF a tick, the 4096. So I'm thinking I'm going to want to get into this bio generator because what we've been having, most of what we've done is pretty awesome. Unfortunately, we keep running into issues of not enough power. Our main source of power is the solar array. And without the solar array going, we lose power super quick. And it is not always possible for someone to get over here and take a nap right away, which is basically what we've been having to do to keep the power going. And we do have a positive gain. As you can see, these are all vibrant capacitor banks. And I've got quite a few of them over here. I think we're in the neighborhood of 9 or 10 of them now. And it's just, I mean, you can see we've got 66 million stored out of a possible 225 million. And that's just with the vibrant capacitor banks. That's not even counting the 20-some million that I've got down there in the older capacitor banks. And just the regular old capacitor bank, I've got 20 million stored there, and up to 225 million can be stored in these vibrant ones. But we keep running into that problem. When the sun goes down, of course, the solar arrays don't produce any power. So I've been experimenting with all kinds of things. I'm not sure why these aren't generating. They were a little bit ago. These are supposed to be helping. I don't know. I'll have to mess with those again later. Maybe they were working just fine. Hmm. Well, in any event, I am going to get working on the rest of the stuff we need to have for the squeezer. So I will be back once I've got the stuff to build it. And we are back, everybody. I believe I have all the blocks I need. Looks like actually I need to get a few more of the steel scaffolding. I think I needed 6 of those. I somehow only grabbed 4. Well, let's craft a couple more of those. Well, there's the 6 right there. Okay, so let's take a look in our book real quick. I think I'm going to want to build it like this, I believe. Yeah, so it looked like that in front of me. So let's back that down one. It's our light engineering block with the scaffolds. It's a 3x3 and 2 of the fluid blocks. So let's say that'll go there. Then some scaffolding, right? Like that. And then our fluid pipes go here. Oh, it's just not rendering. Not rendering there for some reason, but I believe it is connecting right. Okay, so let's look at the second level. Like we need the other engineering block there, redstone block there, and the wooden barrels I believe went here. And where did the piston go? In the center up there. Okay. So the piston goes there. Pretty sure it was facing down. And then I'm guessing the steel fence went here. And then if I hit the engineering block with the hammer, well, I must have done something wrong. Oh, there we go. Okay, so now I've got my squeezer. So let's see what it says about the squeezer. Central wooden barrel from the side that has an engineering box. Okay. Into the squeezer via the two hatches at the back that are marked with the blue dots. Okay, so that's where I can pipe stuff in. Input items can be input into the squeezer via the two hatches at the back that are marked with the blue dots. Okay, so here I'm basically going to want to put a, let's get some power run over here. Let's see. Oh, wrong hammer. Haha. How about that hammer? There we go. That'll make it a little quicker. Oh, that's the staircase. Okay. So I'm going to want to put some of that back. You know, I actually could probably just get rid of this now. Let's do that. Let's just get rid of this altogether. Hurts to do it, but I think it's time for it to go. We don't really use the stairs anyway. There we go. Okay, so now I should just be able to clear this out a little bit. There was a tragic teleporting accident, by the way. I lost a lot of my stuff, so I had to make a bunch of new stuff. That happens sometimes. My only regret is that I wasn't recording when it happened. But there was a tragic teleporting accident while I was learning how to use those Ender telepads. What I can tell you, it is definitely important to set them up. Don't just teleport as soon as the option becomes available after you build it. You're going to want to make sure that it has destinations to go to, because basically it just teleported me to a random location, and that random location happened to be below the bedrock level, and so I just kind of fell to my death. And I think the best part was there was no way for me to get my stuff back. So that was a pretty fun little experiment. And I of course mean not fun at all, really. If I'm being completely honest, I was not a happy man when that happened. Okay, so what we're gonna want to do. Let's see. There's my wireless grid. I'm going to want a garden cloche over here because I kind of have a plan about how I'm going to need to make this work. There we go. Let's go ahead and put these blocks up. Probably won't be needing that stuff. But I do want to have a garden cloche. Let's see. Over here would be best. I don't know how far down that stuff goes. Let's see. I'm hoping that this will work. I want a chest. I've discovered it's best to have these cloaches output to a chest of some kind. And let's see. Let's break out the old shovel. I'm going to want to get this to where I've got some access to the grid. This is going to take a little bit of work to get set up. But basically, I want to make sure I have plenty of the biodiesel going before I start trying to run that generator, which we will get to building hopefully in a little bit. Good. That went where I wanted it to. I'm hoping I can just come over here 3 or 4 blocks like so maybe. And now if I start going this way, I think I'm going to run into some grid access here pretty quick. Yeah. Well, that might work too. I've got access to my water. Oh, and there is access to the grid there. Excellent. I think what we'll do is something like this. Yeah. Oh, I usually pipe the water into the back side here. So what I'm going to want are some fluid pipes, and more accurately, pressurized fluid conduits. Go ahead and set that to insert. I'm thinking I may as well just attach this to the main water supply over here. I am still going to want, am I? I'm not even sure that I'll want access to the grid, or that I'll need it actually. Should be able to put that there. And what I'll do here is disable this. Excuse me. And if that is set to extract always active, our cloak should be getting some water now. And we're going to want to get it some power. There's power right here. Yes, that's some good power to tap into. I think the simplest thing to do might be to just follow this over there. Sometimes I move a little too quick and I ended up throwing my hammer. Terribly fun stuff, knocking this out of the way. There we go. I don't know. I am going to try to go ahead and see if I can power this directly with these conduits. I've never tried it before. I've always used the LV connectors. So I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and give it a shot because it might make some things simpler. I honestly don't know if I should expect it to work. So let's see. Will that... Oh, it might work. At least it's acting like it might. Yeah, unfortunately, that is what I thought would happen. So let's experiment with a couple of things. I very rarely actually experiment on camera, but you guys might like to kind of see my thought process on some of this stuff, I guess. So let's see if I ever taught it how to make the LV connectors. I've got a couple. Those will work. And I'm going to want a little bit of this wire. So the simplest thing, I think, would be to do something kind of like that and that. So it's getting power now. Yes, it is. Okay. So that's a little bit silly, but I think it might work. And what I'm going to want in here, let's see, did I put all the blocks away? Let's go ahead and cover some of this back up. Sometimes there's only so much you can do to hide this stuff, really. I could make a painting machine and do something kind of fancy over here. But really, this is actually still just kind of a test, so I'm not going to try to hide this quite yet if I do at all. So maybe some item conduits. Let's get some dirt. You're going to want a piece of dirt in there. So let's get some dirt in there, and I would love it if it would do these melons. And let's see if we can get a little bone meal. And let's pop the bone meal in here. Okay, so now let's see if I remember this part right. Oh, it doesn't. So I'm going to want like a saw probably. Because if I break this by hand, see how it, and then I bet the watermelons turn in. Yep, that's exactly what happens. Okay. So what I'm going to want to do then is, let's see if we can get a sag mill over here maybe. Let's go see if we can sag one of these. So I've got a couple of machines over here, like the sag mill and the alloy smelter here, that don't. And no. So let's see, what kind of uses can we do here? I can turn it into a watermelon stencil table. That's awesome. Is there no way for me to manually turn those into seeds? Well, I guess I am going to want some let's try a fun little experiment here and get a constructor and a destructor. I'm curious to see there's our constructor. I am really curious to see if it's going to pick up a whole watermelon or if it'll turn it into seeds this way. So this might be a tricky little way that we can do this. Let's see, how about right there? And we're going to tell it to only destruct watermelons. Alright, so when I swing you around, all I want you doing is destructing watermelons, okay? I don't want you tearing anything else up. I think it may have done it. Seeds. I think it did exactly what I wanted it to do. So let's pick up another melon. There's no melons in there and there's no seeds in there as far as I can tell. Okay, so it totally destroyed it. So let's see, did that pick up a melon? I think it's turning it into those melons. So let's try it one more time. Let's see. Yes, that is what's happening. One last check, just to make sure. Place a whole watermelon, destructor destroys it, and then we get melons. Excellent. Okay, so that will work. So let's go ahead and take that with us. As soon as I remember what I did with my pick. There it is. Well, that was unfortunate. I don't even know what happened to it. It's just gone. Okay, so let's clean up the inventory real quick. I think I'm done with those for now. And we're going to want, real quick, another piece of glass. Or was that just, I don't even remember what was there. I think it was glass. Yeah. We'll put the glass back. And did I leave myself a few blocks? Yeah. There we go. Now I'm not going to be falling all over myself. So I actually am going to want grid access over here after all. So let's just see if I can't maybe run it up on the ceiling though. Because why not? We are in the basement. That should be plenty. So let's see. Let's just come off of this guy. And it got dark over here. Where's my shovel? Some of the things I love about Minecraft. Who calls for a shovel when it gets dark? And I was like, really? Alright, so back to the cabling. Because I'm going to want to do a couple of things here. Let's see. I'm going to want these melons basically need to go into the grid. So let's do something like this. And we're going to want an importer. Let's get that crafting real quick. Well, that's crafting. I think we're going to want a crafter. One of these guys. So I'm going to have to teach that one to the grid. So I should be able to request that crafter. There we go. Because after we import those watermelon slices, I'm going to want that. Oh, I probably could just straight out do that with the grid as well. Let's see. Well, maybe not. Maybe we won't need to. Let's see if any of our stuff is done. There's our importer. And let's go ahead and do that with the crafter. Why not? Oh, wrong one. Let's see if that... Oh, you know, we're probably waiting on that Z-Logic controller. Maybe it's done now. Where you at? Oh, you know, it's probably... I've run into this before. I need to find that machine chassis. Where did it go? There it is. Let's take a look at this recipe for the machine chassis. I've got a feeling I've had to go back and fix a lot of these. Because it needs those steel ingots. And what I should be doing, it does some weird stuff with the steel in these drawers. So what I should do is this. And that'll kind of correct the recipe. There we go. So I can put that back. Where's that over there? Alright, so I shouldn't have any more trouble with that. So let's see if we can't get it turned out the problem wasn't with this pattern. It was with another pattern that I was using to autocraft one of the components in there. So now I should, oh there, it already did it. Cool, it completed the operation. So, thinking, the wiring might get a little funky over here, but I'm thinking I need to put this right here. Because it should be getting power. And what I want to do is teach it that. I think. So if I get some item conduits, and we'll want to disable that from the cloche here. And we're going to set this to extract always active. And this is going to get a little clustery, but oh dang it, I keep forgetting. You can't do that while it's just going to try to attach it. And I want that disabled. I want this set to insert. Oh, actually, no, I'm doing this all wrong. It won't take those melons. I'm still going to want this stuff, but what I'm going to want to do is we need the importer over here first. I need to think. Let's set this up in advance real quick. Let's go ahead and say that watermelons can go here. And I've also set this up to autocraft for some other thing. Well, for actually this kind of thing right here. Let's go ahead and make sure we'll have a healthy amount of them. Okay, and I'm going to do that by using the 4 of the storage upgrades. And then the last thing I'll want is this void upgrade. So let's say shift right click gets me into this menu here. And I'm going to put those in there and the void upgrade in there as well. So we'll get a healthy amount. Each one of these gives me up to 16 times. So I mean that's ridiculous. I can have a stack. I have a stack limit of 4,096. So that's times 64 in a stack, and that's how many watermelons I can have on hand. Okay, so now that that is set up, let's see if I've got one in here. There we go. And then this importer, all you're going to do, sir, and this is just to make sure nothing else gets in there, is import watermelons. Need a little wrench. Okay, so you should be importing watermelons into the grid, which is assigned to put them right there. Yes, so that is working as I'd hoped. And now what we're going to want to do is set up the constructor and the destructor. So let's say, if I'm not, let's see, I may have done myself in a little bit here, but not to worry, we can always punch our way over there. What do I do with my pick this time? There, it's already in my inventory, fantastic. So let's do something like this. And I think, we actually could make this look a little fun if we take this back just one more block. I could go ahead and put this up here so that everyone can see what's going on. So why not, right? Alright, so what I'm thinking, guys, is over here, we can have a constructor, right? And I'm going to want this guy to place the melons. And I'm thinking right here, we can put a destructor, and its whole job will be to pick up the melons, right? Okay, so that one's going to pick up the melons. I'm going to need to get it grid access. So let's, and I kind of want to, I didn't actually mean to place those there, but I think I kind of want to keep it that way now, because I actually think it looks a little cool. Let's see, I think that'll give me grid access one way or the other. Do I still have cables? Yep. There we go. So that should be picking up seeds, right? And I'm going to want an exporter. Oh, it helps if I look in the grid for that stuff. Let's do a detector as well. Just in case this gets out of hand, I want to have one ready. And hopefully we'll have our exporter by now. Yes. go. So that should export melons. There we go. So hopefully this guy is getting all the stuff he needs. Yes, so he is starting to create melon seeds, which, if I am right, it has to go on that side, really. I don't know why that one was giving me such a hard time. This should be set up to insert. Thinking I don't want to actually have to trip on a bunch of wires, so let's go ahead and. I know it's just for like block, but believe me, it'll become incredibly annoying. If I set this up there, oh, I probably forgot to tell it to do the extract always active thing. Yeah, extract always active. And, okay, so that is getting the melon seeds. It looks like this guy needs some power as well. So where are you going to get power, sir? Right there, it looks like. For this, I think we're going to want possibly some HV connectors. But let's see if we can do it with the LV stuff I have. So for just a minute, let's get rid of the wire connector up there. Oh, let's use a pickaxe for that. Yes. And let's get our connector on here. And let's look for a wire relay. Not in range there. Over here. What? Oh, everything's off. It's probably nighttime. Welcome to my world. Yep. That's what I mean. This is why I'm doing all of this. We have awesome power during the day. There we go. So let's see if we can get a relay. There we go. I should have enough wire on me. Now, this is a heavier duty machine, so I don't know that it's going to get the power that it needs, but I think it might. Oh, that's got to be a connector. So let's do this a little bit different. Let's see if I can do something like that. And then we'll set the relay right around here-ish. Right? So you should be going now. Yep. So that's why I was thinking we might want to go ahead and try to set this up with some HV stuff. But that is going. And so I think we're going to go ahead and wrap up this part of the episode, or wrap up the episode here. And when we come back, hopefully we'll have a good amount of this plant oil stored up, and we'll be able to start piping it into the refinery, which I'll probably work on that part between episodes. And when we come back next time, hopefully we'll have the stuff we need to start working on the biodiesel generator itself. So I hope you guys are enjoying the server play series. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Thanks for stopping by today, and take care. Welcome back, everybody. Basically, I ended up having to make this fermenter. I knew I had to make it, and I guess it must have just slipped my mind. It wasn't terribly hard to make. Let's see if I can bring it up here in the Immersive Engineering Manual. That was the fermenter. For that, we just needed some steel scaffolding, some fluid pipes, redstone engineering block, 2 light engineering blocks, 4 cauldrons, and some sheet metal. And this is basically what gets us our ethanol. I do, at some point, it looks like potatoes, apples, sugarcane, melon, they all do the same. I just went with sugarcane because in the far corner over there, we have a garden cloche with sugarcane in it. So sugarcane should not be a problem. And I'm guessing all of this stuff is backed up because there's nowhere else for this fluid to go finally. We should be all full on that. And I decided I'm just going to use the Ender IO piping for this stuff. The immersive piping, I like it, I do, but it's just kind of big and bulky. And space, it's not really an issue, but this is kind of a compact design here, so I thought the Ender conduits, Ender IO conduits would work out better. I do have some buffer chests, or buffer tanks on these things. So, we've got a little bit of a backlog here. And this is actually dumping into a fluid storage block. And that's actually the biodiesel coming out here. This is the ethanol that's getting piped in from the fermenter. And this side is getting the plant oil. Do I have a chest? Oh, I do. Okay, there's the actual ethanol. And I have these. These are configured so that the tops and bottoms on both of these do a push-pull. So it basically acts like a bigger tank. That's the reason I've got these doubled up. And then if you look in the fluid grid, you can see that I've got 64 buckets of biodiesel available. And while we're here, I need to go ahead and teach it how to make these generator blocks that we're going to need. Let's see. Generator block from Immersive. Ah, dang it.